So I'm going to try to keep it simple for you. And I like to think of it as the three C's of marketing. So they're pretty easy to remember. They're each one word. The first one is clear. The second one is consistent. And the third one is competitive. So let's dive deeper into those. For clear, you really need to hone in on your why. You need to know your purpose, and you need to know what drives your customer. I think if a good example of this is go look up Simon Sinek on the internet. His TED Talk about how great leaders inspire others. And his whole book, if you want to buy it, is about it starts with why. So we always know in marketing, basically the what and the how, but it's really the why of what drives your customers and why they're going to buy your product or your service. So really you have to be clear about what you're really trying to sell and who you're really trying to tap into. The second one is consistent. So you have to be consistent, like Ray mentioned, across all of your different platforms, whether it's your social media, whether it's your brand being printed on t-shirts. Be consistent across the board and make sure that your messaging is also consistent. It's not just about your logo. It's about your talking points when you're representing your company, your business at different conferences, at different trade shows, to different investors. You have to make sure that you're sending a consistent message for your brand and for your company. And the last one is competitive. So it's always important when you first launch your business to know what you're doing, but then also be aware of who your competitors are in the market and monitor them and how the market is constantly changing. Like we just mentioned, marketing has changed drastically over 10 years, and us marketers have had to try to figure out how to adapt, how to pivot so that we can get the message across for the different companies or businesses that we're working with. So monitor the market, make a list of who your competitors are, see what they're doing. If some things that they're doing are working, maybe adopt those methods that they're doing. But it doesn't always mean that you have to follow what your competitors are doing, because it may not be the right answer. You don't know what happens behind the walls of their office and if what they're doing is actually very successful. But it's always a good idea to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening around you, because you don't just want to become stagnant and stale within the market. And then I think it's a circle. It goes back to your why. So once you're competitive in the market and there are new methods that are happening and things like that, go back to your why. Go back to your clear messaging and say, if we are to pivot to this because our competitors are doing it, does it really make sense for us? So that we can stay competitive in the marketplace. So again, the three C's of marketing and branding: clear, consistent, and competitive. And that should help you.